Hello everyone, on this episode of Interviewing Plushtubers, our guest will be Goomzilla. How are you doing today, bro?
Doing great, thank you.
Well, I'm glad to hear. I am doing well myself. I think we can just start off with the first question, which is, I think we can just get to something many people have had on their minds, which is you do a pretty unique style of plush videos, where you make some of your own plushies and custom backgrounds, and instead of using your own voice, you, like most plushtubers, use Mario game sound effects and just in general. What would you say is the reason you chose to make your videos in this type of style instead of like in a more traditional style like what AmazingMarioBros or SML or just any other plushtubers were doing at the time?
Yeah, that actually comes down to the video that inspired my first one. So Bowser's Mushroom Factory was inspired by Bowser's Revenge, is what it was called. Which is, there is a re-upload of that now. The original was taken down, but it's by a guy called Amir. I don't know if you've come across him, but that was a quite popular plush video when I was looking at videos online in 2010, and I came across that and saw that he did this same style where he was putting in sound effects from the videos, from the game, sorry, and using them in his videos, and it looked like it worked pretty well, and I thought, yeah, that sounds like a good idea, I'm going to try that. I had seen a few other plush videos that just had normal voices, but not all that many, and this one was my favorite at the time, so that's why that was my inspiration, really.
Interesting. Yeah, I think I've seen that video actually, but yeah, it's a pretty interesting video. But yeah, you were, I guess, one of the first people that did this style, if you really want to call it. But I don't know how popular it is nowadays, but I'm glad to see you still remained it, and it's very interesting to see. But you know, speaking of your content and stuff, your most popular video, which is also your first video, it seems, has over 80 million views now. What do you think made that particular video go so viral, and how would you say its success has impacted your channel and career on YouTube?
I think the reason why it went viral was basically luck in a lot of ways. I think it has a really good thumbnail, which at the time you couldn't customize, and it's basically just the middle frame of the video is its thumbnail, and it happens to work out that it's quite an interesting one. And I think the title has probably also helped it a bit, like with the right amount of intrigue, but at the time I didn't really know what I was doing with titles. I just put that together and picked a frame that looked like it worked okay, because you had 3 choices of thumbnail and that was it. And yeah, in terms of the impact that's had, it's definitely had a huge impact on the channel, because it's what a lot of people remember me for. It's the one that people have seen the most. It's a very large proportion of the views on the channel.
Yeah, I would definitely see that a lot of people have seen that video, and yeah, some people haven't even seen any of the other videos, which is, I'd say, kind of unfortunate, because they're missing out. Definitely. But yeah, you've obviously started your channel when you were much younger. I don't know exactly how old you were at the time, but you were definitely younger. How has the process behind making content and just approach to being a YouTuber in general changed as you've grown older and gained more experience with like content creation and everything?
I think there are sort of 2 sides to that. One is that the YouTube landscape has changed a lot. Like back then, like I was saying, you didn't have to worry about titles and thumbnails because you didn't really have much choice on the thumbnail. It was still important, but people hadn't quite realized how important. Whereas now, I find myself spending far too much time trying to optimize those things, and it's not really what it's about. The fun bit was the content, so I sometimes have to stop myself from spending too long on those. But in terms of personally, I was 16 when I made that first video, 13 years ago nearly, almost to the day.
Yeah, at the time of recording, it's damn. Yeah, almost the 13th year anniversary.
Yep, that will be the 10th of October. Don't know when this will be uploaded, but yeah. So I personally have gone through a lot since then because I was still at school, and now I've been at like a full-time job for several years. I don't do YouTube full-time, so.
Oh, yeah. Well, actually, I was a bit talking on that in the future questions, but we'll get there. We'll get there. All right. Well, obviously, speaking of experience and stuff, you obviously need all this music, all these sound effects, all these sets, all these plushies, you know, some being custom, to make your videos. How much effort and time would you say you put into your videos, and what would you say is your step-by-step process while making content? You know, like what comes first, videos, thumbnails, sets, you know, just in general.
It does actually come in different orders. Things like thumbnails I can do at any time. I think the thing that always comes first is the idea, because I have a big like board basically full of ideas, and whenever I get one I just add it to that and I pick from them. There's a few that are higher priority that I'm like, I want to do this soon, so I've got a list of a fair few things. There's probably about 30 things on there that I could choose to do if I wanted. It's just about finding time and picking what I think people will want to see. So then I'll always try and flesh out what the video should look like after that, and talk to other people, talk to my sister because she films with me, and we sort of co-own the channel. Like, she's hosted a couple of plush tutorials, but other than that, people haven't really seen her voice much in like anything that's presented. She does voice Toadette actually occasionally, but so and then we would film it. So for a plush video, we'd film that at my parents' house, and just because that's what we were always used to, and it's a sort of place where my sister and I will usually be together. So, and then I'll edit it, and with editing I'll usually put the video in first, then the music, then the sounds, and that's the bit that obviously takes a very long time.
Yeah.
Putting in all the sounds, especially at the end.
How much time would you say that takes?
I always used to say it takes about 50 hours to edit like a 10-minute video, but it's probably more than that now. It just depends. It depends. I have to try and get myself into the right mindset for being productive as well. Like, trying to make sure I don't get too distracted and whatever.
That's a
Pick
lot
a day
of
where
time.
I feel up to it.
Yeah, that's a lot of time to spend while making content, I would say, but yeah,
Definitely.
it's nice to see it still uploading and stuff after all this time. But yeah, obviously your video process is a bit unique from others in the community, which are on the topic of the community. What do you think you would have done and would be doing right now if you hadn't chosen to go down the plush video route on YouTube? And what would you say your plans are for when you retire from plush tubing? Because I mean, I'm not saying I want you to quit videos or whatever, but I'd assume your plans aren't to be doing this till like you're in your 50s or 60s or something.
I mean, I'm coming up to my 30s soon, so but no, not quite there. Basically, my plan at the moment is to keep making videos that involve Mario in some way, and whatever I feel like doing, I can sort of morph around Mario in a way. Like, I've done a few different types of videos. I've done, like, there is one video where I've done a drawing and just shared a time lapse of that. So if I feel like doing more of those, I might do. It's just like other hobbies, putting them into the channel. Because like I say, it isn't a full-time job for me, it is more of a hobby. And obviously I've already got this big audience, and it's about trying to pick things that they would want to see as well. So trying to combine my hobbies with Mario feels like the right sort of thing to do with the direction that it's in. And very long term, I really don't know. I imagine probably YouTube won't exist in like 20 years. Who knows? But things change a lot on the internet, so.
Yeah, what would you say you'd be doing right now if you hadn't started doing the plush videos?
I might have started a channel doing something else, because I just have always done a lot of projects of my own. I used to like make my own computer games, for example, not very good ones by the way, but or I might have even done like I used to do maths at university, and I might have even decided to do a channel about like teaching people that. So it's very, very different things to what I do at the moment, but...
But yeah. I would say that maybe you would be like the type of person to do animations, but at the same time, animations take a long time to do. So I don't know. But,
potentially, I mean, I do tend to spend a long time on these, so...
Your videos
I don't know how to do animations.
Definitely are like animations, I would say, at least in the style of like classic ones where I remember back in the day where were like classic Mario animations. I think you've seen a couple probably. But yeah. Did those inspire you partially, maybe in the style as well, or I don't know, but
yeah, a little bit. I mean, I'm not sure if they necessarily inspired, but I did watch a few back in a similar sort of time, maybe 2009 sort of era. I remember watching a few.
You've been on YouTube for a while, and yeah, you've seen that YouTube from basically the beginning and stuff. And you released your first ever plush video, Bowser's Mushroom Factory. Some of you somehow didn't notice that or know that 13 years ago, all the way back in 2010. But now, all these years later in 2023, retrospectively, what would you say are your opinions on that video and other videos from that time period? And is there anything you wish you could have done differently in that video and just other videos at the time, maybe?
I know that a lot of people tend to look at their first video and think, oh, it's really cringy, but that's usually just because you've changed a lot and you've improved. And I definitely wouldn't have edited it in exactly the same way. There's even some scenes I would have cut that I just for some reason threw into the final video because I didn't think anyone was going to watch it, and I just thought it was funny, so I left it in. So there are definitely things I would have changed, and obviously my editing style is different now, but I don't regret doing that. I think it was like a big building block to getting towards where I am now, and people still watch it quite a lot despite that. So
how many people generally like watch it per month? Like how many monthly views does it get approximately?
Let me see. It's gone through periods where it used to have a lot more. It's about 10,000 a month at the moment. Whereas in its peak, it was hundreds of thousands in a month.
Yeah, do you think there was ever like a month where you gained like 1 million views on the video, or like several million? I don't know.
I can actually find that out. I can see there are days where it got 80,000 views in one day, back in 2012. So yeah, that was quite a good day.
So that definitely must have been a nice day, definitely. But
yes.
Yeah, I would say that even though you've made a lot of videos, and even though you don't upload like weekly or whatever, you still pull a good amount of views on videos to this day. Would you say has content creation ever been like a full-time or part-time job for you before, or just always more like a hobby? And just what would you best consider it nowadays? I mean, I know you kind of mentioned that before, but
yeah, when I left university, I didn't immediately get a job because I decided to spend a bit of time on YouTube and other things, but it ended up actually not being that much time. I think if I did it full time now, I would be a lot more proactive with making videos. It's never been full time, but it would be nice to do it full time for a little bit, I think.
But yeah, would you consider, that it was a part-time job before, but generally mostly a hobby still, I would assume, because you enjoy doing it from what I can tell.
Yeah, I just like making a variety of videos with like a focus on quality and watching people react to those and enjoy them.
Yeah, people like watching them. Definitely, you can see that from comment sections and whatever. And I'm pretty sure. Has anyone made like a reaction video to like some of your videos?
Yes, I have seen some. It was a few years ago now that I last saw one. But I think it was a reaction to Peach's Quest, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I've definitely seen a few.
But yeah, do you remember who reacted to those videos, maybe?
I would have to check the name to be sure. But yeah, it's definitely happened.
Well, I'm glad that it happened, I guess. I mean, you enjoyed watching them, right? I mean,
yeah, it is cool to see how people react to them. I guess the most that I get usually is from the comments, and there are some people who write very nice comments and sometimes quite long analysis comments, which I really enjoy seeing as well. So
it can be fun.
It shows that people are looking at all the details I've put in.
Yeah, I'm glad that people notice those types of things, but yeah, I guess from what I can tell, y'all can react to Goomzilla videos to this day, make reaction videos, I guess. Goomzilla has given you his approval to react to his videos, I assume, but yeah.
Yeah, I think as long as people are, making something interesting out of it, then yeah, it's completely fine.
And I also give permission for y'all to react to my videos as well. But regardless, yeah, well, talking about your channel and whatnot, it has been around for a long time. We've mentioned that several times here already, but everyone kind of knows that, obviously. But regardless, that creates a question, which is, how have you been able to remain motivated and be able to continue to come up with new ideas after all these years? And would you be able to share any tips on that, as I know people who've been doing this for like a year and are already burnt out from like ideas and stuff, but don't even know what to make. So would definitely be interested in hearing that from you.
I think it's about taking a break from it if you feel like that. Do something new, go somewhere new, and you'll get inspired by what's around there, is what I tend to find. That's why I have so many random ideas on my board, because it's usually when I'm on holiday or something, I'll think of something and I'll put it on my board for future.
Yeah, so
that's, I think, my best tip.
Yeah, it's put down things. Yeah, basically taking breaks is healthy, you would say. I probably would agree with that. But, yeah, you took a bit of a break this year, I saw, after the Mario movie wrap thing. What were you doing around that time period?
That was actually more just because I was making the next video and it was taking a bit longer because it was a long video. And that does happen with me from time to time because it's not full time. I don't think I was actually doing anything particularly that time. It was just, taking a bit longer.
Also, I guess I would assume, you're working on your job and stuff. It's definitely, work can definitely take up time.
It does,
I'd say you're pretty good at time management. Would you say that?
I think so. I mean, I have to try and work all of this into my evenings and weekends, so
yeah,
I've definitely got used to managing my time.
Yeah, when you do something for like over a decade, obviously you're gonna get good at it, I would say. At least I hope. But regardless, well, obviously due to your channel's uniqueness and popularity, especially in the OG days of YouTube, your content is nostalgic to a good amount of people, and it's visible in a lot of your comment sections and stuff. How did you find out about this genre of content where people make flesh videos, and how would you say you feel reading all those comments and just knowing a lot of people got inspired by you? Now, I even know a couple of people that got inspired by you, but yeah, how do you feel about knowing that a lot of people got inspired by you and just started making plush videos of their own, and even some of them have like thousands of subscribers.
I mean, it's really nice to know that people have been inspired. I have seen a lot of comments like that on the sewing videos in particular, because people have seen them and then taken up sewing as a hobby, or I think in one case I even saw someone had it as a career. So it's quite cool that people say that that was what inspired them to start. Because these are like, and making videos as well, they're like good hobbies to have. Like, I'm glad that I could make people like see something interesting in what I was doing and want to do it themselves. It's really cool, definitely.
Yeah. Well, I would say that's pretty good, but I'm sure a lot of other OG plush tubers, I would consider you an OG plush tuber since you've been here for a while, but I assume a lot of other people that have been around for a while, you know, like Luigi fans, Super Mario 134, you know, I'm pretty sure you've probably talked to them, but they would probably say something like that they enjoy getting in when people get inspired by their content. And I mean, I even enjoy it, but although not that many people say that, but obviously I only have like less than 2,000 subscribers, but yeah, I'd say this is a pretty nice feeling. I would guess that it would be, but well, regardless, let's just get to the final question, because we have already gone through the 9 questions, and now this is the 10th one that I always ask, because, well, I always like hearing people's different opinions on it, which is, what would you say to any aspiring content creators that want to be as popular as you?
I would say keep being inspired, keep finding different things to do, and enjoy what you're doing. If you don't find that you're enjoying it, then maybe find other things that people might want to see that you enjoy doing. It's mostly about, if you enjoy it, then you can do it in your own time and you'll be able to keep it going happily, whereas if you don't enjoy it, then it feels more like a chore. So I think that is probably the most important thing.
Yeah, well, I think that was some pretty good advice to everyone that sees this. Y'all can listen to Goomzilla's advice, and I wish you all the best on everything. And I think we both wish you the best. Everyone that watches this, we both wish you the best in your YouTube channels if you do plan on making them. And if you don't and just watch this for fun, then yeah, I don't know, stay tuned for more episodes. Well, that was Goomzilla, everyone. I hope you enjoyed being on here, Goomzilla. Did you enjoy being here?
Yes, very much, thank you for the questions. They're interesting ones, I liked it.
Well, I'm glad. Anyways, that was Goomzilla, everyone. Do you have anything to say before we end the interview?
I don't think so. Thanks for having me.
Alright, that was Goomzilla, everyone.